When I first started playing MultiVersus after years of playing Smash, something felt off. It felt slow and moves felt sluggish, so I thought Twitter was right. The game was just bad. But after slowly getting familiar with some game mechanics and learning some advanced techniques, they started coming together, and the game started feeling faster and more fun. So let me share what the best players know and how you can achieve this with 5 tips for MultiVersus. In MultiVersus, there's 30 frames of buffer, and it can be a good thing if you know how to use it right. They did announce that there will be a customizable buffer option in a later patch, but for now, it's best we understand it before it drops. In easier terms, buffer in a game is like a callback to anything inputted in the buffer window, and the game will keep a short-term memory of that move and input it in the earliest possible frame. If you input side attack 1 and side attack 2 instantly, the game will finish the first hit, then do the second hit without you having to be frame perfect. This might cause some frustration when in scramble situations where it will cause you to input moves that you might not have wanted after the fact, but this mechanic can be bypassed by inputting your attacks as close to frame perfect as you can to minimize unwanted moves. In other words, you'll be punished for mashing. This does help when doing combos and kill confirms, as you can buffer a move and react to DI with your drift without having to worry about inputting the wrong direction on a move to adjust spacing. If you've seen or played MultiVersus by now, you've probably witnessed the low ceilings that lead to early juggle kills, which makes this next tip so important. High-level players are very comfortable with movement in this game, so you'll see a lot of air dodge dashes to close space quickly. Your opponent is often within threat distance without even realizing it, due to the air dodge dash, and with how strong up airs and up specials are in this game, it can be abused. To do this, simply jump and air dodge forward, and then input either another jump if you need height, or just straight into whatever move you want to hit. You can do this horizontally on the ground or in the air as well to close space fast. If you haven't already, I would take a look into character perks. Certain characters have some pretty beneficial perks that might add depth or just some quality of life changes to your gameplay. For example, you can equip a perk that adds a platform when you're juggling, or a simple damage buff that can make your moves hit harder. But there are some perks that change how moves work, like angling Harley Quinn's down air, or Banana Guard creating a shield around himself when he charges. When fighting other players, I'm sure you felt like certain characters are way stronger than others, and it might seem like it's impossible to beat them. While they are strong, they aren't without their counterplay. It's important to understand every character, but simply understanding how they get their openings and kills could be what you need to secure a win. I had a tough time dealing with Harley Quinn's slide attack, which landed her tons of damage and kills off of that one move. But if we look into that move, it has a lot of cooldown after, and if punished properly, it might discourage the use of that move, which forces them to use the rest of their kit instead. But aside from move specifics, keep in mind that some strong options have cooldowns and that you should take advantage of those and use as an opportunity to fight the character head on. Another way of using counterplay is when Wonder Woman has her armor. Either use a multi-hit move, a projectile to break it, or do your best to disengage and play around the cooldown as best as possible. Some core game mechanics that you need to understand is defensive resources, mainly dodges, jumps, and specials. The dodge meter is something you should manage wisely yourself, but in advantage, it's a strong indicator of when you could throw attacks out to take advantage of low dodge meter, due to there being no invincibility on dodges when it's recharging. Jumps and specials are more things to keep track of, as if you reset an edgeguard enough times to burn through these resources, then your opponent will be left without anything to recover.